So we're adding a resource from domesticshelters.org. It's one of our favorite places to partner with because they give such great information. And their search engine, where you can pop in your zip code and find everything you would want to as a resource for surviving, escaping, utilizing shelters, it's awesome. Nobody does it better. One of the questions they posed, and you'll find this in the comments below this post, is what would you have done differently once you knew or had an inkling about your abuser? And it's an interesting topic because abusers spend the first year and a half working really, really hard to love bomb you and make you feel great. But if you pay close enough attention, you see some warning signs, even within that first year and a half. And if you can recognize the warning signs, maybe you get out a little sooner. Maybe you decide this person isn't worth it at all before you ever get too entrenched. So, for me, the very first minute he lied. And if I look back, I know that it was within the first 3 weeks of us starting to see each other. So while trips were being planned and all these fabulous adventures were going on, he was lying to me back then. I mean, I'd find out more down the road, but I knew of a couple lies back then, little white lies, things that didn't really matter, but man, do those white lies tell a story about who the person is. The second thing, and this is huge for me, he was so incredibly rude to wait staff, to cab drivers, to people at hotel check-ins. Horribly rude. Enough that without his knowledge, I used to carry around extra dollar bills to loop back around and tip people extra because he was so rude. I even had one cab driver pull me aside and say, "That man is horrible, and I have no idea what you're doing with him." I believe him now. He's a bad man. So that should have been a pretty big red flag, right? But you find excuses and you say, "Oh, he's having a bad day." But how many bad days can you have? I mean, really, if it's consistently every time you go out to eat or every time you're in a cab, really? That's reflective of who the person is. So what's your comments? What have you experienced? Because after we talk about this, we're going to start talking about boundaries and how to put them in place so that when someone doesn't meet your boundary, they just get booted to the curb. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your red flags could have been when you look back. And it's not to say that we're judging, because we all can look back, right? Hindsight 2020. But anyway, don't blame yourself. You didn't know what you didn't know then. But now that you know, you can do better. Think about that for your next relationship, or just how you interact with life as it goes along. Talk to you soon.